shared my screen as well.
So actually, we are way many backlogs are there. That's why sir couldn't try.
Okay, backlogs are there, so clear the backlogs. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
and I mean, if you guys are feeling like we are going too fast, I mean, we can take this Saturday off. I'm fine with that. If you feel, because the main important thing is we should get time to practice, and we should have something to take away from this training, right? I mean, it's not that we
Yes,
just
sir.
have to finish it. Okay. So if all agrees, we can take a Saturday off. I'm okay with that.
Yes,
If
yes, yes,
everybody
we
is,
will take. Yeah,
everybody wants off Saturday.
yeah, we will take.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, we
Okay.
can do alternate days in next week, so that one day we will study and remaining day.
Yes, sir. There are
Actually,
many backlogs, sir.
see,
Yeah.
alternate is actually it breaks the rhythm actually. You know, that's the
Okay.
thing. If you do
Okay. Yeah.
alternate,
Got it. Yes. Yes.
so,
Got it.
so
Yeah.
maybe I mean we can take like 3 days off. That is fine, but we should do continuous. That's what I feel.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. No problem.
So shall we take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and we will start from Monday?
Okay, I
Yes.
mean if all of you feel that way,
If
I'm okay.
everybody wants, otherwise Saturday, Sunday is okay for me.
Actually, sir, backlogs are getting way more, and we are not able to cover it. I'm not
Yes.
going.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, fine then. I mean, we can take like tomorrow and Saturday off. Sunday already is off, so you will get 3 days. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
So after today's session, we'll then meet on Monday. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay then. That's fine. I'm okay with that. We are not in a hurry actually. So today let's start with the agent. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So agent, as we have seen during installation chapter, and we have seen it at other occasions also, SQL Server Agent is basically a service, right? Whenever you install SQL Server, a SQL Server Agent service also gets installed. And I have told you like you should run it with a account which has sysadmin rights on SQL Server and administrator on the operating system level. So that way you will not face any problems related to permissions. Now, the main purpose of SQL Server Agent is to run, to schedule and run the jobs. Okay, that's one of the main purpose of SQL Agent. So here you see the SQL Agent. It's currently running. If it is stopped, you will see some red mark here, and then you need to start the SQL Agent service. You can start the service from here also. You can stop it from here also. Right click on SQL Agent, and then start and stop. So you can do it like this. Then there are a few important things about SQL Agent. First, let's talk about jobs, and I will come to those points. So, as I said, it's one of the main purpose of SQL Agent is to uh, create and schedule jobs. So, let's talk about job. Now, what is a job? In almost every company, okay, wherever SQL Server is used, you will definitely find some jobs. Okay, so job is nothing but a set of instructions that either you want to schedule to run at some fixed times. Let's say I want to let's say I want to run backups every 1 a.m. daily. I want differential backup twice a day, like this. So uh, there are some schedules. So I want to do my tasks during those schedules when they arrive. So one thing is you can it's a set of instruction. It's like a batch. It can be a normal select statement also. You can write in a job. You can write insert, update, delete. You can execute a procedure. I mean any command that you can run from SSMS. Same things you put in a job also. So it's basically I can say it's an automation, right? As a DB, you are automating your tasks. Something has to be, if anything has to happen at a predefined fixed interval, then you can automate that thing. So that will simplify your life as a DBA, right? So that you don't have to do that thing manually. So whenever you feel there is something repetitive and it can be fixed, like same thing is happening daily basis, you can create a job and then schedule it to run on a fixed interval. Now, good thing about job is, apart from automating and scheduling it, you can configure alerts also. Like whenever, let's say you are doing backups, so you want them to happen every day at 5 a.m. So they will keep happening automatically, and you want that if there is a problem, I should get a mail. Okay, if they're happening normal, no issues, nothing, then that's fine. I don't need any alert. But if there is a problem, I should be informed as a DBA so that I can take the corrective actions. So that way, I mean, you will have very less hassles. You will be troubled only when there is a problem. Otherwise, normal backup will keep happening. Same is with index maintenance, and same is with lot of other things. Okay, so jobs make the life of a DBA easy by automating the task that has to be done repeatedly. Okay, so we have seen, like during the application, we saw like some of the jobs are automatically created, and log shipping also we saw like some jobs are automatically created. And as a DBA, you can of course create your own jobs. So let's create one job, schedule it, and then see it in action. Although we have already seen some of the jobs, but just to cover it properly, I will again create a job and then schedule it. So to create a job, right click on the job, new job, and then you give it a name. Let's say copy data daily. So see, in companies, they will implement a lot of business logics through jobs. So let's say there has to be some activity where a report needs to be sent to managers for some data, daily sales data, that you can do through job. Or let's say some data has to be copied. Let's say some data has to be copied from one server to another server on a daily basis. That also you can do through job. Or some data needs some calculation should happen, and then that calculation should be inserted in some table. That also you can do through job. So first is you give a name to the job. Owner, by default, the person whoever has logged in, that person will act as a owner. You can of course change it to some other person also if you are sysadmin. By default, whoever is creating is the owner of the job. Owner means you can drop this job, you can alter this job, you can change the schedule, you can drop the schedule, all those things you can do. And by default, it is enabled also. If you disable a job, it will not run. Simple. Just like a login. So job should be enabled so that it can run at a scheduled time. So by default it is ticked, and then we let it to be ticked. Then so basically what we did here, we just gave a name. That's it. We didn't do anything else here. We just gave a name, and then now I'm going to create some steps inside this job. Okay. So let's go to the steps tab. Here I define the code that needs to be executed through this job. So a job can have multiple steps. Okay, one step may be doing copying, another step may be doing some delete, third step may be doing some execute procedure, fourth step may be doing some sending mail, all those things. So different steps means you want to run different commands in a sequence. First do this, then do this, then do this, and then do this. So like this, you are defining steps of a job. So create a step, you need to click on new, and then you need to give a name to the step. So let's call it copy, let's say sales data, for example. And then what is the type? Type is TSQL. It means I want to run some TSQL command. Maybe I want to run some insert, update, delete, or maybe I want to execute some procedure. Mostly you will find some piece of code here in companies, or you will find some procedure that is called from here. So let's say you want to give some command here. So what kind of command you want to give? Let's say I want to copy some data from AdventureWorks. I want to copy some data from, let's say, AdventureWorks to some other database in this server only. So let's say, just to give you an example, okay, how it works. So or maybe I will just put that command in a procedure and I will call the procedure. That also you can do. So let's say I have this database and let's say right, so 20 from folder detail. So this is my table, right? So let's say I want to copy this data to some another table. So let me create another table also, a copy of it. I mean, either you like create table name and then you make a copy of it. Another trick is like select top 20 star into, you can use select into, right? Let's call it copy from this, and you can write like where 1 equal to 0, right? Where 1 equal to 0. Okay, so one is never equal to 0. So what it will do, it will not load any data. So only the structure of the table will be created. So it's like a quick trick to create the table structure without writing like create table name. So it will create the same table structure with same column name without any data. Blank table it will create, right? So all data type, everything will be same. So now we have two tables. One is sales dot this, and then another is this. So maybe I will just here, and then I want to put it insert into this table, and then I'll just say select top 20 star, right? And maybe I will put this command inside a procedure, for example. Okay, let's say I create, let's say my test proc. So I just create a procedure, and what I want is there is an identity column in it. That's the problem. So you cannot specify an identity explicit. You cannot specify identity. So sales order detail ID is actually identity. So what you have to do if you want to insert into identity, anybody who knows TSQL, what should you do if you want to insert an identity value? Anyone? How do you explicitly insert identity? Identity is what? Automatically it is generated 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you want to insert it by yourself, how do you do that?
Disable
Anyone?
the identity
Placing
column.
primary key.
Sorry?
By placing primary key.
No, no.
There is a way of do disable that identity key for a temporary basis.
Yeah, that you can do, of course. I mean, if you disable it, then you remove the identity and it will start working. But I don't want to disable it. I mean, I want to have the identity, but I want to give it my own values. I don't want it to generate automatic values 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I will say one thing here then. Okay, if I don't hear any answer for this question, then I can clearly tell that you guys really need to work on your TSQL. I mean, I will say you are not good in TSQL. Actually. Okay, this is very fundamental thing in TSQL. So read the notes actually that I have shared on TSQL, and I mean these are very basic things. As a DBA, I mean definitely at least this much you should be knowing. Okay.
So in the script we have to TSQL details.
In the script, I mean somewhere you will find that identity. How do you insert explicit value in an identity column? Okay.
So I mean to say that we can learn all the TSQL things through the script only, or we have to use any other material.
No, see the one that I have given, that is like that covers the very basic things. That covers very basic things. You can use that for having a fundamental understanding of TSQL. It is not very exhaustive. I will say that's the bare minimum you should know actually. So the material that I have given you, that has the bare minimum thing. At least that much you should know. That I mean, you cannot skip anything from that. That is very basic and minimum required TSQL knowledge that as a DBA you should have actually. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
there is
After
nothing.
each and every module, there is a script.
Yes, scripts are there. They are to help you, like just to see like how to write that thing, right? So concept is explained in PPT, and then script is given. So you run it, you run the script, try it, do some hands-on, so that you feel some confidence in it. Huh? So
Yes,
you
sir.
can insert explicit value like this: set identity, insert table name on. Since I'm telling it, I want to insert identity values by myself. Mm, okay, so now you need to specify the column list also. That's another prerequisite. So you cannot just say like identity on. You need to explicitly specify the column list like this. Basically, I created a procedure. What this procedure is doing, it will select 20 rows from a table and then insert them into this copy table. Okay, done. So my procedure is created. Now in the job, I want to execute this procedure. That's it. Okay, copy sales data, and then I just say this, and I will say execute. Right. This is how you call a procedure. All these are like fundamental things. That's what I'm saying. Read the PSQL stuff. So in adventure works, I just want to execute this. This is one of my step. Okay, and then I say okay. So one step done. After that, what you want to do? Maybe you want to delete old data like this. You want to remove some data from this table, let's say sales copy data. No? First, you copy these latest 20 records, and then maybe you want to delete the oldest 20 record, for example, oldest 10 record maybe. No? So some business logic will be there. So maybe you will just say delete, or I will just to keep it simple, delete from. I will empty this table, okay? Or maybe you ideally you should say truncate table, or maybe delete from this, and then you give some where clause. Okay, let's say based on some sales order ID, maybe I can give where sales order detail ID is, let's say less than 5, for example. I can say. So I can say where less than. So I want to delete all sales order IDs which are less than 5. Like this, I added another step. So I created 2 steps. Same way, you can keep adding more steps like new. So first, this will be executed, then this will be executed. Like this, it will work. So I am not adding any. Third step is to add schedules. So I will come to it again. First, let's create this job and then see how it works. Okay, so that you get a good idea. Those who have never created any job, they get an idea. So you should get a new job now. The job name is copy data daily, right? So currently it is not scheduled, so it will never run automatically. So you can run it manually. So right click and then start job at step. Okay. It task. You have 2 steps, 3 steps. From which step you want to run it? By default, you see first one is highlighted. So if you just say start, it will start from step 1, step 2. So see, in companies, what will happen? You will have a job with multiple steps. It's very common. Okay. So let's say you had 5 steps. The job failed on the third step. 2 were already done. So when you will fix the error, then you may not want to run the 1 and 2 again, because the task that was supposed to be done by step 1 and 2 is already done. So in that case, you will say no, start my job from step 3, because this is where it failed. 1 and 2 are already done, right? So in that case, lot of time as a DBA, you will need to run the job manually also, because it failed and then you made some data fix, and then you want to start it manually again. So you will start it from the step where it failed. So you will start it from step 3, for example. So here I want to start it from beginning itself. So I just start. It will first run the step 1. Once it is done, it will go to the step 2 and then done. So what should I see? I should see some data in this table. It must have inserted 20 record and then it deleted 5 records. So maybe I will see 15 records in this table, right? It means both my steps worked fine if I see 15 records here. 16 actually. Okay, maybe whatever it is. So I didn't get 20. So I said less than actually, right? If it was less than equal to, then I should have got 15. Otherwise, less than 5 is only 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 records are deleted. I get 16, right? And then you can see this from your job history also. Right click on the job, go to view history, and then you can see expand it. You can see like green tick, step 1 done, step 2 done, what time it was done. You can see the timing also here. And the good thing is, if you come at the bottom in the message, you can see if there are any errors that happened here. Okay, you will see all those errors here. Okay, so those errors will be visible here. So for example, if I go to properties, if I go to steps, let's say here you made some mistake. Okay, so let's say you gave a wrong table name. Okay, by mistake you did a typo, some typo error is there. So that table doesn't exist. Now when you will run it, what will happen? Of course it will fail, right? The step 2 will fail. So if I run it again, what will happen? Step 1 will be done fine, step 2 will fail, because there is no such table. So you will get this kind of message, and then when you go to job history, you can see why this. So red cross means the job overall failed. You see step 1 green, it means it worked fine. Step 2 is red, so it means some problem in this step. To go at the bottom, you should see the hint why it failed. Executed this, invalid object name, this. It means this table doesn't exist. Like this, it gives you a pretty good hint, like why this failed. And you can also see the timing, how long it took for the job to run here. So duration you will see here, it didn't take even 1 second. It finished in milliseconds. So you will see here, this is also very useful thing actually. A lot of time you would want to see how long this step took. Maybe it took 20 minutes. Tomorrow it took 25 minutes. So you want to see the duration. So you can come back here and then see the duration for each step and overall job duration. From the top also you can see overall job duration also. So you can see like the job took total 50 minutes. Out of this, 25 minutes, 30 minutes were taken by step 1, 20 minutes were taken by the second step. So breakup you can see, and the errors also you can see from here. So this is how you create a job. So you basically give it a name, you add the steps that you want to do, and then done. Now you want to schedule it, for example. Okay, so to apply a schedule, what you will do, let's first fix this error. So let's make it correct. I fix the typo error. I say okay. Now you go to schedules. Let's say you can give multiple schedules also to a job. Let's say my first schedule. Okay, it should be enabled, of course. If you disable a schedule, it means this will not be applied to the job. Let's say I say daily occur once at, currently the time is 10:24. Let's say I make it 10:26. Okay, AM. So you can see occurs every day at 10:26 AM. It starts from today, and let's say I finish it. After tomorrow, it should not run. So it will run today, and it will run tomorrow, and that's it. And then I say okay. So I applied one schedule to it. Is it enabled? Yes. Then maybe I can apply one more schedule. I want my evening schedule. This also I want to run daily once at, let's say, 17. It means 5 p.m. right? So occurs every day at, you can see the summary here. So let's say I want to stop it this also tomorrow, or maybe I want to run this schedule to till 29th for 2 days. So now same task will be done every day at 10:26 a.m. and then same task will be done at 5 a.m. also. So I say okay. Now it's 10:25. When the clock hits 10:26, automatically the job will be triggered. So it's 10:26. So you can see it must have started. Okay. You see started and it's done also 10:26. You can see the time here. Both steps done correctly. Now it will again be triggered at 5 p.m. today, because the schedule says run it twice, right? So this way you can create a job and then apply a schedule to it. Now you can set some frequency also in schedules if you want. Skip frequency means like occurs every 1 hour. You want to run a job to run every 1 hour, okay, or maybe every 4 hours, or maybe you want to do it 4 days, so maybe you will say 6 hours. It occurs every 6 hours. It means it will run 10:26 plus 6. So maybe it will run around 4:26 p.m. Then it will run at 10:26 p.m. So it will run 4 times in a day. So you can give some frequency also. This is how you give schedules to the jobs, and then the job will run at the predefined schedules. And of course, all steps in the job will be run every time, every single time. All steps will be executed. Any questions so far about
Disable
creating a
any
new?
one step?
Sorry,
Can we disable any one step if we not required?
can you disable any one step? Okay, so if you go to a step and then you see there is no such option. Okay, there is no such option to disable a step. So how do we do it? If you just have to say maybe I will just comment it, right? So it will run, but it will not do anything. So I just commented this code, right? So that way you can prevent it from running, or you can write a multiple line comment like this. This time it will run, but it will not do anything. But you cannot disable it. You cannot disable individual step. You can disable enable entire job. You can disable enable schedules. There are 3 schedules. Maybe I can disable, like here I can maybe disable the second one, but you cannot enable disable individual. So you see, enable this yes, this no. Individual steps no, you cannot do.
Okay.
So what will happen if we change the tables with from whom a job was going to happen?
So if you change some table means what? You change the column in the table, or you drop the table, something like that.
Yes, something like that. If we are changing the column name or something, there's
Then job
some.
will fail. Then job
Oh,
will fail, of course, because it will say insert into table name, and then I gave some list, right? I gave the column name and order QTY. If I change it to order quantity, okay, then my job will not be able to identify it. It will say I'm executing this procedure. This procedure has this wrong column, so job will fail, and it will say invalid column name.
okay. Because of one column, the whole job will hamper, no?
Yes, whole job will hamper. Now,
Okay.
this brings one important point actually. Let's say a lot of time what will happen is there will be a dependency in the steps. For example, I want that first this step should be done, data should be copied, and if this succeeds, only then delete the data. Otherwise, don't delete, right? A lot of time you would want it. So if this step succeeds, then only do this. Otherwise, don't do this. So for that, if you go to this step, and then you see there is an option called advance. Okay, this is important actually. So I'm saying on success, go to next step. On failure, quit the job. It means telling it don't go to the next step. Stop it there itself. Don't run the second step if you fail. If I say there is no dependency of first step on the second step, so I will say even if you fail on failure, still you go to the next step and run it. So like that, you can control the flow of the job. You can control the flow of the steps that needs to be executed. So you can tell it, if first step succeed, go to next. If second step succeeds, go to the third. If third step fails, still go to the fourth step. If fourth step fails, don't go to fifth step. Like that, at individual step you can tell whether you want to go to the next step or not. So if there is a dependency of data, like first the data should be inserted, then it should be deleted, then you have to choose this option. So on failure, I would not want to go to the next step. I will say quit the job, reporting failure. So second step will never be run. And there is no point in running that, because my business logic says first some data should be copied and then I should delete the older data, right? So this is important, like you control the flow of the steps from here. You can take a decision whether you want to go to the next step or not using this. So here you see, on success, go to next step. On success, since this is last step, I will say quit the job, reporting success. If the job fails, quit the job, reporting failure. It means every time wherever at whatever step it fails, the job will be stopped there itself. Next step will not be done. Okay, so this is how the steps and schedules work. Now another important thing is notifications. Okay, now you also want to make sure if the job fails, then you get an email, okay, as a DBA. So how do you get email? You can page, nets, and these are all technologies. Page is like pager. Earlier there used to be pagers, so you will get a SMS type of thing. Actually, there was a small device. I mean, many of you may not even have seen it. Those who are senior enough, they must have seen it. So there used to be a pager. Okay, it was a small device for SMS type of purpose. Old technology. So we don't use this pager or net send these days. So because email is configured on smartphone these days, so you will get an email. Okay, so you will know like, okay, backup failed or index maintenance job failed or some important business related job failed. So you will get an email. So I can tick this email. Whom you want to send the email? I can say, let's say I want to send it to Anil, and then maybe Anil is the main DBA, or maybe there is a group, DBA group. Okay, there are 5 DBAs in this group, and they all should get this job. So I choose DBA group, and when you want to send this email, when the job fails, when the job succeeds, or when the job completes. Completes means succeeds or fails. In any case, you will get a mail. So mostly we choose when the job fails, right? You want to get troubled only when there is some problem. Otherwise, if it is running fine, I'm okay. So this is how you set the notification. Now, how do you get this drop down where from these names are coming? So there, that brings us to the next thing, which is called operators. Okay, so operators are the person who will receive the notifications. So you create the operators from here. So let's say a new DBA joined in the company, and the name of the DBA is, let's say Abhijit. Okay, Abhijit joined as a DBA. So you enable that operator, and then this, and then you give email address for Abhijit. So let's say I got ABHI at whatever. Okay, and then uh, that's it. Rest options are like they are for pager and all those things. So I just say that this, and then I give it a name. I give the operator a name and then email address, and that's it. Now I can assign notifications to Abhijit. From here I can say like, okay, now if this job fails, Abhijit should get email. So Abhijit will be sent an email. So add the email address which you mentioned in the operator. The operator is like a plain thing, right? You just give it a name and then an email address, that's it. And then you can use it for the notifications. So Abhijit will get a mail whenever this job fails. So I think the email. So how do you send emails? I mean, anybody, any idea like how this mail will come? I mean, how does SQL Server know like send this email to Abhijit? What capability makes it enabled to
On the
send email?
server level, we had to do some settings for email.
Yeah.
TP
So mhm.
on settings.
Yeah. So some settings. So what is that setting? Okay. So see, mails
SMTP
are
and port number.
yeah. So
If
mails are
firewall
always
exists,
yes, Amit.
if firewall exists, then port number and SMTP
Yes,
protocol.
SMTP. SMTP is the word actually. SMTP. Mails are always sent through SMTP protocol, right? SMTP is what's simple mail transfer protocol, I think, right? Simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP. So whatever mails you get in Gmail, Reddit Mail, Yahoo, whatever, XYZ, mails are always sent and received using SMTP protocols. So you should have SMTP server. Okay, so mails can only be sent when your company has some SMTP server. Sometimes your company will buy a SMTP server. Sometimes you will use some third-party vendors. There are thousands of vendors in market. You can use them to send or receive mails. Okay, so you need to configure that to send or receive mails. Where do you configure it? There is something called send DB mail. Okay, so let's go to management. and here you will see database mail. Okay, so this is where you configure it. Right click it, configure database mail. Here you will tell SMTP server. So set up database mail by performing this. You say next. Here you first you have to create some profile. Like I created a profile. Let's call it my mail profile. And here is the SMTP account. This is the main thing actually. Here you say add, and here you add SMTP for a. You need to have one account also. Select account to add to this profile. So if you don't have an account, you can say new account, and then you create a new account. Like my new account. So two things you need to create: one profile and one account, and then here you specify your mail server, SMTP server. So email address, like all mails will go to you, right? So now I configured Abhijit to receive a mail. So from which ID the mail will go, right? Some ID should be sending it. Now, always you get a mail from some ID. Okay, it will never happen that you received a mail and there was no sender. Some sender will be there. So if Suresh is sending, then Abhijit is receiving. So this is the email address. So you can tell it like any name you can give, whatever SMTP. Maybe you are using support at, let's say, apple.com. So a lot of time you see like no reply, right? You will see some mails like do not reply because nobody will read that mail. So this time of things you will see don't reply, something like that. So but you will see from where it came. The mail Abhijit will see I got a mail from support at apple.com, right? So one thing that you have to tell is this name. Uh, you give some name here, critical alert. And then port number, this you will get from your networking team. They will tell you some port number, and then they will tell you some IP address of the SMTP server 172.45.67.223 like this. So these entries has to be made, and then the mail will be sent through this. So I think I have configured as an SMTP server, and same I will use for sending mails. Maybe I can just say manage database mail accounts, existing account. So you can use Gmail also, right? Like you can configure your Gmail. All of you have Gmail accounts. So I will definitely suggest you configure your. So for Gmail the port number is 587. You can Google and then see what is the port number that Gmail uses to send mails. So that port number is 587. Server name for SMTP server name for Gmail is smtp.gmail.com. That is the SMTP server of Gmail. Okay, and you specify your Gmail ID and your password. Okay, and that's it. And you have to take this SSL. So if you do these settings, you can try this thing. You can configure the alerts using your Gmail. If you have two Gmail IDs, maybe you can use one to send the mail and then one to receive the mail. Or maybe you from same account also you can send mail, right? Abhijit can send a mail to himself also. So one account will also work. So you have to do these settings here. Okay, and that's it. After that, nothing, finish. So your email will be configured. So here, if I want to test, maybe you can test it by sending a test mail to yourself. So maybe I want to profile for Gmail. I don't know which one is working, but maybe this one works. So you can test it if it is working or not. Okay. How this works, I know, but I don't remember which one. And then you can check like whether you are actually receiving the mail or not. Your Gmail. Let's see if I received the mail or not. Yeah, database mail test, right? I got it. So it came from Suresh K, and then so nothing is mentioned. I didn't write anything. This is a test email. So it means this was working. Okay. So it means this profile for Gmail. I created a profile for Gmail and I gave a name Suresh K there. That's why I received in the mail. I saw like the mail came from Suresh K, right? So like this, you will see. So you need to configure it with your Gmail account. I've shown you the settings. So try it out, and then what will happen? If I want to configure a notification, so for example, let's repeat this. So now let's make it a practical, right? So let's say I had this, and then I made there was some problem in this jobs tab. Let's say I make this table name wrong. I say okay, and then I want to configure a notification for this. I say an email should be sent. I think mail for Gmail. Let's see what is this mail for Gmail. So let's make it. So let's say, or maybe let's say I create a new operator Suresh. Email for Suresh just to keep it simple. Operator Suresh. So whenever this job fails, Suresh should receive a mail. So I go to this and then I go to notifications and I say email and I say Suresh, right? So when the job fails, okay, now this job will fail for sure because there is a problem in it. So let's when the job will at 5 p.m. or whatever time when it will start, it will fail and eventually it should trigger a mail, right? Failed. So it might have sent a mail. So let's see if the mail came. It came, right? The job failed. SQL Server job system copied. It is telling me server name, job name, and then it is telling me like the job failed. If you open it, you will see job was run at this time. It took this much. Status is failed. Why it failed? This. You see, it's not telling me the reason here. It will not tell you the reason. It will just alert you. So Suresh got notified, like some problem has happened. So as a DBA, I will go and then I will see the history of the job. First thing what I will do is I will go to the history of the job and then I will see like if it failed, why it failed, and then here I will see the error message and then I will fix it and then what I will do next. What I will do. So let's say this is a very practical situation. Okay, you got an alert, you came back, you saw like okay, and then you analyze the reason. You say invalid object name. Then I say okay, maybe somebody gave a wrong table name, or maybe the table was dropped. Somebody dropped like Abhijit was telling. If what if somebody drops the table, the job will fail. So I come back and then I give the correct table name, and then I say okay. Then what will I do? Fixed problem fixed. Right now, what should I do? What do you think I should do?
So we should run the job.
Manually, right? So
Yes, sir.
exactly this is what do. And how should I run it? I should say start from step 2, right? One is already done, copy has already happened. So I will start it from step 2. This is where we failed, and then I will do like this, and then we are good. So this is what you will do as a typical DBA in your day-to-day jobs. So this is one of a common routine of a DBA. Like somebody asks you, like, what are the tasks that a typical DBA do in a day-to-day job? So monitoring of job and fixing errors, and then rerunning the jobs manually if the problem is fixed. It's like a typical day-to-day job of a DBA. One of the tasks actually for a DBA. Job
Sir,
So
I
monitoring,
have.
problem analysis, and then running them. Yes.
Is there any option to retry the same if some step is failed? There is an option to restart that particular step, right? Or is it a manual process?
No, there is no. I mean, there is no retry option here. If you want to retry, then you will have to code actually. Okay. So how will you code it? Maybe you will write some begin try. You will first grab the error, begin try and try. You will have to manage it in the code. Okay. Then begin catch. Hmm? and then and catch, and then the flow will go in the catch only when there is some problem. So if there is some problem, then maybe you want to retry it, right? You want to again execute it, okay? And then just to avoid that it doesn't become an infinite loop, you will put some flag here, okay? Maybe you will declare a variable, let's call it run count, how many time you want to retry, or you call it retry count. You declare it as int. Let's say I want to try 5 times, okay? So every time you run it, you will run a while loop inside it. So while retry count is less than 5, keep trying. So some programming you will have to do actually.
Sir, but what is the advantage of retrying? Because if it doesn't run on one, then it will not work on 5 times.
Yeah, that is true. So in this case, there is no point, because until unless you fix the table name, it will keep giving the same error. But there are situations like, so there may be a situation where, let's say the server connection was down at that moment, but when you retry, the server was up again, huh? And then
Yeah.
your command will succeed. So there can be a business scenario, right? So depending on business need, you may want to retry. We do it a lot of time actually. So there is no direct way here to retry. I mean, you cannot tell a job like retry 5 times. There is no such count.
So,
You need to manage it programmatically.
yeah, this option is there in our company. We schedule some jobs like this only.
I mean, retry option is there.
No, not retry. There is similar to what you have said.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you have to manage it programmatically. That's what I
Yeah.
feel. I mean, I don't think there is any option to
Yeah.
automatically retry.
Yes, true.
It will just do one try. Either it will fail or it will pass. That's it.
Yeah.
And sir,
Mm-hmm.
is there any option that in the mail we can also get the reason why we are facing that one?
Yeah, reason, yes, you can do that also. I mean, then again, you will need to do some programming actually. So here you saw like the email automatically came. The content that the email had, this is all auto generated. I didn't write any of it. So
Yes, sir.
uh,
Can we just capture the error message in the history and it would be
yes,
sent to
yes,
my
yes,
mail?
yes, you can do that. So there is a Microsoft has given one procedure sp underscore send underscore db mail. So this is a procedure which Microsoft has given. You can send your own emails. Here, like I just ticked send email. But instead of ticking that notification, what I can do is I can add one more step. Inside that step, I can write this SP send DP mail, and then maybe I capture these errors in some table, and then I pick that data from that error table and then send it in a mail. So you can customize it. I mean, it's not that you have to receive the fixed format mail. If you want to have your own format where you want to show error also, then you will need to do some programming. I mean, automatically there is no way. Like if I say this, then I will get a customized message. So if you want to capture the error messages also, then again you will need to come to programming. So here, like in TSQL, a lot of inbuilt uh, functions are there. For example, at the rate ERROR, then error underscore message, error message, not at the rate, just error message. So this gives me the error message. Okay. For example, if I run like this, slack 1 divided by 0. So this is an error, right? So error message will tell me. What this error message will tell me? I'll get this in the email. Divide by 0 error encountered like this. So error number. So a lot of inbuilt functions are there. So this is all part of TSQL actually. Like how do you get all these things? You can get the error number, error line, everything you can get.
Oh,
Right? These are all functions. So you can send these things in the email if you want. Like I want to send error number, error email, and all those things. That also you can configure, but that will need some programming. Maybe you will put all these things in procedure itself here. Catch, right? Catch means some error happened, and then you want to use sp send db mail, sp underscore send underscore db mail, and then here you will say like this error message, this error number. You can write a customized message. You can create your own message with error number and everything, and then send it in the mail. You can do that. Automatically, it is not there. Easiest and automatic thing is this only, which we received. Most of the time, it is enough actually, because you got an alert, then you can always go to the job history and see the actual error there, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
if for whatever reason you want to see the error in mail itself, because to fix it, eventually you will have to go to SQL Server only, right? You cannot fix the error from mail itself. So for some particular reason, if you want to see the error message in email, you can do, but mostly it will not help. Even if you know the error message, you will not be able to do anything. You will have to come to SQL only. Okay, so I will not wrap this topic today. Okay, although it's a small topic, but since we started a bit late, I would want to spend some more time on alerts, and I would want to speak some more on SQL agent. Okay, so that we will do on Monday. Okay.
One question, in our case, we are having backup reports. We
Mhm.
get one job, and that job came in HTML format. Then
Yeah.
can I find it out which job is sending that email?
Which job is sending that mail? Okay, so you get an email, and then no, from mail it is, just by looking at the mail you cannot tell from job which job it is coming. But if you come here, like from agent, yes, you can see like which job is sending that email. So how can you find that? Maybe there is a system table called Slack. There are two important system tables here. Slacks are from now where jobs are created, in which database they are created. I told you this. Which database has these jobs? Where are they created actually? In which database this data is going? I told you, probably two times at least.
SDB.
MSDB, right? So MSDB, have got sys jobs. This is one important table. It has all the jobs. Every job will have a job ID and a name, right? So these are all my jobs. Then there's another important system table called sys job steps. This will have all the steps of a job, and it will have the command also. So here you can write a query like where command, like let's say you are getting some text in the mail, some header is there, right? Like let's call it backup history. One of the column is backup history, right? So of course that is written somewhere in the HTML. So this will give me all jobs which contains that column. So probably you will have only one job which is sending you backup history. So you will get that job name here. It will tell you like, okay, this job is sending this kind of text. So from here you can tell.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other question? Else we will talk about all these things again actually on Monday. If you get any questions during weekend, Friday, Saturday, you can ask on Monday, and we can continue. But meanwhile, I will suggest you one thing. This is interesting, right? Configuring Gmail and then setting
Yes.
alert and then setting a job. Easy and interesting thing, right? So you can do it. You don't have to put a lot of mind in it. You just have to do
Yeah, we
tick
will
tick.
do that.
Okay, so practice this so that you feel confident about alerts and how email comes, how jobs are created. And every company will have these things, so it's good to know. Huh?
To write down the jobs and the steps, we only need TSQL or any other programming language also.
Uh, yeah, other programming language means there is something called, if you say new job, you will see there are a lot of options here. Uh, let's say create a name, and then if you go to steps, you say new step, you will see by default it picks TSQL. If you expand it, you will see there are more options. PowerShell is one common thing. PowerShell is a scripting language, na? Which comes with the operating system, Windows 10 or Windows Server, whatever operating system you have, you will have PowerShell by default. So you can write code in PowerShell. It is used by DBAs for automation purpose. So you can write PowerShell commands also here. The rest are like replication. These things we already know. Then MSBI related things. SSIS, AS, RS, those commands also you can write. And then most commonly used is of course TSQL. So you can use TSQL also. So three options it is giving you: either use PowerShell scripting language, or use TSQL, or you use MSBI related commands. So you have three options actually which you can use here. So if you talk about SSAS, it has its own language, right? And we call it MDX,
Yeah. Okay.
multi-dimensional expression. So that also you can write here. That has like totally different syntax. That's a different world actually. But as a DBA, like I mean, you are good to go if you are comfortable with TSQL itself.
Sir, where is that document which says about TSQL basics?
I shared with everyone. I mean, who is this? Venkat?
No,
Or
this is Vinay.
Vinay? I shared it with everyone. I mean, I'm not sure if your mail was there or not. If you have not received, I will check it. I will share it with you. I shared it with everyone.
For me also.
Venkat, you have that?
I don't have sir.
Oh, I shared it. Maybe you guys missed
Google
it
Drive
actually.
पर है.
You missed
Google
it.
Drive पर है.
Just
I shared it actually.
Oh,
Okay, I'll share it again. I mean, just in case I missed your emails, but I'm sure Venkat mail I remember seeing. So it was shared, but I will again share. You can check again.
so the TSQL things are in the script, no? With each
Yes,
and every module, there is some scripts.
yes. So this is TSQL, right? Whatever I'm writing here, this is all TSQL, right? Whatever commands you are writing, this is all TSQL.
Yes, every module has something related to it. The
Yeah.
script, something
So
related.
there is one module which talks about writing procedure. So that is about procedure scripts. There is one module which talk about writing slash star form where group by having all these things order by. So each module has some commands, right? So
Yes, sir.
that
All
is
the
all
21
TSQL.
modules have some script in it.
Yes. So they are all TSQL scripts. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then we will meet on Monday then, huh?
Uh, Sir, I'll share my email ID. Can you please share me and
TSQL.
thank you
Yes,
also.
definitely. Yes. You can. I have your scalability ID, right? So I will share on the scalability itself. Huh?
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Okay then. Uh, stop here. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.